In today's video on Verdun, I'm going to look at how the player basis has dropped so much and why that's happened. Just want to clarify, all these things I say now are just my opinion on why I believe it, and it's not what other people say. I think some people might agree, some people might disagree, but yeah, it's just my opinion. Keep in mind that I'm only talking about the PlayStation 4 edition as well. I'm not sure what it's like on PC, I'm not sure what it's like on Xbox. It'd be good to find out in the comments if it still has a big player base, but as I said, just talking about PS4 in this video. So the first mistake I think the devs made, M2H Studios and Blackmill Games, is they brought the game out on the 30th of August 2016. At this time, Battlefield 1, the AAA game, had their open beta out at the very same time. Now 2016 marked 100 years of the anniversary since World War I, and Battlefield decided to make a World War I game. So you have Verdun coming out, which is a World War I shooter, and then you have Battlefield coming out, which is also a World War I shooter. Now obviously Verdun was much more realistic than Battlefield. However, Battlefield being the AAA game and made by EA, and it's always had a good player base, was always going to surpass the number of players who played Verdun. I mean, for example, I remember seeing loads about this open beta for Battlefield 1. I remember actually downloading it myself and having a go and not liking it. But I heard not one thing from Verdun, which sort of brings me on to another point, is that the advertisement for Verdun on PlayStation was awful. Now, I don't know if it's because the studio doesn't have much money. I don't know if they just didn't bother with an advertising campaign. But I feel like with no advertising campaign and you're going up against another AAA World War I shooter, it's always going to lose. It was always going to lose. It was sort of doomed to fail from that point. And you can't help but think, surely, the developers would have saw that Battlefield 1 was coming out. And, I've got a statistic here that sold 850,000 copies. That's just under 1 million copies on PC. So you'd assume that they have enough money to advertise, or there was some half-decent advertising, maybe even get some videos on YouTube via the PlayStation sort of YouTube channel. Maybe they have, I just haven't saw, but I feel like the game was really, really poorly advertised, and again, it's another reason why it hasn't got as many players as it should have. So my third and final point to this video is that every day on Verdun we see new players, which is absolutely fantastic. You see level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, all new to the game, and that they're not the issue. There's nothing wrong with seeing new players, even if they don't know how to play. It doesn't matter, because us guys who play Verdun, it's great to see them. It's great to see new players, because that's what we need. But I then say half the guys who are new to this game, who come on, don't ever come back on the game again after, because you come onto a game that has 10 people in lobby and the bugs and the glitches just must put them off completely. I've got used to them because I've played it for 3 and a bit years. But if you come in the game and you've got bugs like this game has, where you spawn, you can't move, sometimes you're getting shot when you're in cover and you die, and it's little things that really must piss people off and grind on them. And when that happens, and especially if you're a new player, if things keep getting at you and keep getting at you, like glitches and bugs, it really starts to piss you off. You got to think, how can you blame them? How can you blame people for wanting to play games like Battlefield, where the gameplay is a bit more smooth, the graphics are nicer, and they've just got a sort of smooth experience compared to this game, which can be clumsy and quite frankly hard to play at times. So I'm going to round the video up now, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I know it's been a bit short, but currently the recording equipment I'm using is really, really fucking poor. So next month I'm planning to buy new equipment, hopefully some better audio stuff as well. You've probably heard from the editing, my voiceovers haven't been good for this video. I've been very limited on what I can do. So if I've been stuttering or I've had to, I've mumbled my words, then I apologise for that. On screen now, hopefully you'll see the Verdun community page come up. If you play on PlayStation and you're not in that community, please join that community. You'll find some good players to play with. And it's just keeping all the active players together. There's a lot of people who don't play Verdun anymore who are in that community, but it's worth a look anyway. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Cheers.